Already been.
Guyanese Gem. Hi gems, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be doing yet another murder-suicide, and this time this one takes place in Caledonia on the East Bank of Demerara. So if you're interested in watching at a video like that, keep on watching. Hi guys, how are you doing? Thank you for watching at this video. Thank you for liking, sharing and commenting as always, and I do hope that so far you have been enjoying the content that I have been putting on my channel. This is a sad story to recap because it involves two young lovers whose lives ended abruptly when a murder-suicide incident occurred. So this murder-suicide, like I would have said, took place on the East Bank of Demerara, and it involved two young lovers, Parvati Raghu and Vijay Arjun. Vijay Arjun was just 24 years old when this incident occurred, and he was an auto mechanic on the East Bank of Demerara. Parvati was just 19 years old, and at the time of this murder-suicide, she was also 1 month pregnant. Vijay, also called Kevin, hailed from the land of Canaan area, and Parvati, also called Priya, lived in the Suzdike area. This murder-suicide seemed to have happened because the couple didn't get married when they wanted to, and it's interesting to note that the couple had only met the year before in November. The couple had planned to get married in the same month that they died, and it was also said that they died just a day after the wedding was actually supposed to take place. Relatives of the deceased Arjun had said that there were some incidents in his relationship, however they did not think that these incidents would have caused him to commit murder and then also commit suicide. Now, Arjun's father said that he was a quiet young man who did his work, but he mentioned also that the relationship that he shared with young Priya had its own cases of infidelity, but he never thought that that would cause him to commit murder-suicide. Similarly, the deceased woman's father said that his daughter and young Arjun shared a special relationship, and he even mentioned how in love they were with each other. Now, on the Friday before this entire incident took place, young Arjun, Priya, and her sister visited Suriname. Purportedly, Arjun wanted to ease the stress that he was feeling at the time, and he wanted to talk things over with Priya. I guess he wanted to discuss the details of their marriage, and in one newspaper clip, I also saw that he allegedly wanted to discuss things about what was happening at home with him and his mom. Initially, the couple had decided to stay for just 2 days. However, they ended up staying for 6 extra days, so they stayed in Suriname for a total of 8 days. Now, Raghu's sister said that while they were on vacation with Arjun, that he treated them well, he showed them a lot of love, and she also said allegedly that he confided in her about his relationship with his mom, and supposedly she was not in favor of him being with young Priya. Priya's sister also allegedly said that Arjun supposedly confided in her that he was fearful of losing Priya, especially because he was so in love with her and because she was having his baby. While young Arjun was in Suriname, he had messaged his mother that Saturday because it was her birthday. So he wished her a happy birthday, and he also sent in his message that he loved her. Now, some other newspapers that I would have read would have said that he called her, but in 2 of them I saw that it was actually a message. So if you would like to read more of this case, you can check it up online on one of the local newspaper sites. Now, while returning from Suriname, Arjun allegedly made comments about wanting to kill himself and kill Priya, and he was also discussing with them about funeral arrangements and planning a funeral. However, both women took this as a joke and they kind of like rub it off, so they didn't believe what he was saying. They thought he was making jokes. Arjun's father had said that both families had agreed for the couple to be wed, so both of them went and asked home. And if you're not familiar with the term asking home, usually it's when a male goes to the home of a female that he is interested in and asks for her hand in marriage. Now, usually that's what happens, and if the parents of the young woman or her guardians agree for her to be married, then they begin to make wedding arrangements. And I'm guessing that is what happened here. However, it is believed that the couple could not get married at the time that they wanted to, and this is because just a year earlier in the Diamond area, Arjun's uncle, his mother's brother, had been killed. So I'm figuring that they were probably Hindu and they wanted to observe the 1 year rites. Now, if you're in the comments and you are Hindu, can you explain to me when is it a Hindu couple cannot be married, and what happens after a Hindu dies? What are the rites and so on that they practice? I'm very interested in knowing about that. The family allegedly asked Arjun to wait until a month, I think it was, that I read, to get married. However, this did not sit well with him and he got extremely mad about it. According to interviews with reporters, relatives of young Arjun had said allegedly that his mother was not in favor of his previous 2 relationships. However, she loved Priya, she liked her, and she accepted her. His relatives said that allegedly his family wanted him to have a home and a car before he, took Priya home as his wife. But this frustrated him, especially because Priya was pregnant. So he thought that, I need to marry this girl now because she's carrying my child. It's alleged also that on the same day that this murder-suicide took place, young Arjun had said, I'm not sure if it was to relatives or whatever, but it is reported in one of the news reports that he said that he would kill himself and he would kill Priya if things didn't work out. So I'm not sure if it's worked out the way he wanted it to work out or just work out in generally. But he once again said that he would kill himself and kill Priya. So this is 2 times that he said this thing. Priya's father had indicated that initially Priya did not want to go to Suriname with young Arjun. However, she was encouraged to go and she made up her mind and went. He also said that in that same week the couple were planning to get married. So when the incident happened, like I would have said before, the couple, they were supposed to be married. Priya's father also said that before Arjun went to Suriname, that he was having some kind of problems with his mother at home. Priya's father also said that when Arjun and Priya's sister returned home from Suriname, that young Arjun, allegedly, he did not want to go home. Now, prior to traveling to Suriname, I think it was Priya's sister that indicated that before he went to Suriname, he allegedly withdrew a large sum of money from his bank account with the intention of having a good time in Suriname. The couple would return to Guyana from Suriname that Wednesday, but Arjun did not go home. He ended up staying with Priya and her family in Soestdijk. It was Priya's mother that said that Arjun and Priya left around 17:45 on that Thursday to visit Arjun's land of Canaan home, but they never reached. It was on this same Thursday that Arjun's mother, she in a newspaper report said that after returning from Georgetown, she got a telephone call. I'm assuming it was from her son, that he was back in Guyana and that he was on his way with his fiancée to go see her. Surprisingly, she said that after this, Priya's mother would call her continuously, asking whether or not Priya and Arjun had reached to the land of Canaan home. However, she responded in the negative. She even said that it was about 30 minutes after, I'm assuming, the first call, that the young teen's mother called again in search of Priya and Arjun, but she again responded in the negative. Priya's father said with tears in his eyes that it was on Thursday that he left for Georgetown and that he did not notice anything out of the ordinary between Priya and young Arjun. And when he had returned back from Georgetown, he also did not notice anything strange. He had no complaints of an argument happening, so he never expected that the result would be the death of his daughter. It was a few minutes after Priya's father had returned from Georgetown that Arjun said he was ready to go home and he left. However, he returned and he asked them if Priya could accompany. At first, she was hesitant to go, but then her mother convinced her that she should leave. Now, I'm thinking that her mother was probably thinking that, okay, you're going to get married to this guy. He probably wants you to go home and see his family. So why not go and, show some respect and show that you care about what is happening. So after being convinced, she made up her mind and she left. Now, her father would not know that this would be the last time that he would see Priya alive. Now, Arjun's family would receive several other calls from Priya's family. However, each time they would respond in a negative that they did not see Arjun and young Priya. So after then, they began to get worried and they indicated to the Raghu family that both of their cell phones were turned off. Arjun's mother and his stepfather, I'm thinking it was his stepfather according to one newspaper, they began to get worried. So they decided to leave their home and go in search of the couple. It was while they were on their way to search for the couple that they would pass the rental car that the couple were in, but this was unknown to them. So they passed Caledonia and they went in search of them. However, they were unsure as to where to look because the stepfather was thinking that probably, he went to Georgetown. What if he went the other direction? We don't know what was going through his mind. They just left the home and decided to look for the couple. So it was after they had decided to go and search for the couple that the relatives of young Arjun decided to visit the home of the man that Arjun would have rented the vehicle from to, go across to Suriname with. So it was while they were at this man's home that he indicated to them that Arjun indeed came back on the Wednesday, but he also told them that while he was going home, he passed the vehicle on the Caledonia public road in an abandoned, lonely area. So the family began to breathe a sigh of relief and they called the Raghu family and told them, you know what? These two people are parked on the side of the road in Caledonia. So Priya's family told them to wait for them, that they wanted to go together to see the couple in the vehicle. So the Arjun family was waiting for Priya's family to get, I'm guessing, at the rental car man home before they would make their way to where the car was parked. At around 10:30 p.m. that Thursday evening, PNN 9189 was discovered on an isolated spot at the Caledonia public road. It was discovered by both parents, so Arjun's parents were there and also Priya's parents were there. Now it was Priya's father who first went to the vehicle. Now he initially thought that the couple were asleep and he went around to his daughter's side of the vehicle. He quickly saw that her mouth, she was foaming through her mouth, and he thought that it was some kind of clot that was stuffed in her mouth. And then he recognized that there was also some blood. I'm figuring it was the side where her wound was. And he said to reporters that it was horrifying to see his daughter like that. By that time, Arjun's mother had jumped from the vehicle that she was in and rushed to the side where her son was. She too thought that the couple were asleep. Both of them said that both families hit repeatedly on the window of the car because they thought that the couple were asleep. It was Arjun's mother who went on the left side of the vehicle. I'm not sure how the car was parked. I'll try to insert a clip here. But she said that her hand went through the vehicle, I'm guessing the front glass, and the glass was broken. And by that time, Priya's father was on that same side, and he turned to her and said, you know what? I think these people are dead. Now, Priya's father said that Priya had a gunshot wound to the right side of her temple, just by her ear, and also Arjun had a gunshot wound to the right side of his temple. As reporters would interview Priya's mother, they said that she was inconsolable. She said that every day she would look at the news and she would see various crimes on television, and that now the reporters had come to talk to her. She asked, why did Arjun do it? She asked this question repeatedly, and then she also said that he knew exactly what he was doing. Police would later go on to rule the incident as murder-suicide. However, their story contradicted with the family story. They said it was not the family that found these two people on the side of the road, but it was actually people in the area that went to the vehicle and discovered the couple dead in the car. As with all other unpleasant things that happened with the Guyana police force, when Arjun's family went to uplift his jewelry that he had on him, The police reportedly told them that it's just fine things he had on, it's not nothing much. But his family would say that it was actually all of his jewels that he had on him, and it was not just fine things that he had on. Nowhere in any of the articles was it reported whether or not they got back those jewels, so I'm not sure if they ever got them back. But it's sad, you know, you die and people just rob you of your belongings. Arjun's mother reportedly said that Arjun was her only son and that she had wanted to rub dye. I'm not sure what that meant. Somebody in the comments could probably explain to me. And that she loved Priya. So if you can explain to me what she meant when she was saying that. I'm thinking that she probably wanted, I don't know, you know, I think it's the mehendi night that you color the bride and the groom in the turmeric powder. I'm not sure if it's that or if she wanted to put the little red thing. I don't know how it works. Somebody in the comments tell me. She also said that she didn't know what to think and that the person who committed this murder-suicide was not her son. He was a quiet guy, so she was in total shock and denial that, you know, well, the son that she knew as loving and quiet could do something like this. I feel her pain. I could understand that. Arjun's family also said that once they discovered that Priya was pregnant, that they were disappointed that the Hindu wedding could not happen, and this was because only the previous year that Arjun's uncle had died. His mother also said that she did not know that the couple had planned to get married legally that same week, so she didn't know all of this was taking place. Arjun left to mourn his parents and his foster siblings, while Priya left to mourn her parents and her two siblings. Both bodies were taken to a funeral parlor to await post-mortem. Interestingly to note, both families began to blame each other for what happened. One side said that it was because the young man was being pressured at home, that is why he killed himself. The other side said that it was because this girl was pregnant, you know, her family wanted her to get married and they were forcing the young man to marry. I don't know, you guys leave your thoughts in the comments section. Well guys, that's the end of today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed today's content. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, please remember to put on your notification bells so that you can be informed every time that I post on this channel. Remember to leave your comments in the comments section about today's video. Let me know what you think about all of this. What are your conclusions and what can you deduce about it? So guys, that's it. Until next time, bye.